How's it going, everybody? And welcome to another session of the Let's Talk Show by Interlingua. As usual, I am your host, Mike Ruiz, and today we're going to cover a specific topic in which all of you will relate to, even the young people, because they're about to enter into the world of the working life. Yeah, we're going to talk about our jobs. We're going to talk about our daily routines and how much do we dedicate ourselves to our working lives. Actually, working is one of the activities in which we spend the most of our time. It sounds heavy to put it like that, but that's the world we live in. And like I always said, let's get the best out of anything. Be sure to participate in the comment section and to tell us, what is your working life like? What do you do? Where do you work? Is it what you really want to do? And if it's not, what did you want it to do in the first place? And why not? I mean, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but what is your frustrated goal or your dream job? Not to be judgmental. We all have one. Me personally, if I wasn't good at this, I would probably be a professional wrestler. That's mine. What about yours? But let's get on with the show. And today we have some previous guests to tell us a little bit more about their working lives and their particular situations when it comes to dealing with this situation like I said, we can all relate to. So without further ado, let's bring them out. Coming back to the Let's Talk session, we have Maripaz and we have Tony B.
Hello.
How's it going, everyone? Hey.
Yeah. Bro, it's Friday.
It is Friday, finally. Alrighty then. My favorite day of the week. However, we still have to get it done, But let's do it in a very fun way to talk about this topic in which you, remembering our private texting sessions, you have pretty particular and very interesting experiences when it comes to work. But first, let's cover a little bit of general ground here. And let's go back to where it all started. Do you remember your first job? And if you do, how was it? And how old were you? Maripaz. Go.
I do remember my first job. I didn't necessarily need a job, but I wanted to get into the workforce for some reason. I wanted to experience what it was. So I was just going through a bookstore downtown, and I saw the ad and I said, oh my God, imagine working in a bookstore, because that was when I was getting myself into studying literature, and I only lasted about a week. I stayed with them for a week, but they were so nice. I worked directly with the owners. That was it was a very small team, and they were really nice. But then I told them, I don't have time to study and work. I'm sorry, I'm leaving, and I had to go.
No, she's leaving on that midnight train. I'm sorry, me and my references, they trigger them. What about you, Tony? Do you remember your first job? How was it and how old were you?
Well, if you talk about jobs, I think, where you have to fill out a form and
to punch in and punch out.
So I think my first job, wow. I think I worked at Bloomingdale's. Bloomingdale's is like something like that.
Yeah, the clothing store.
Yeah, for sure. It was like a summer job. I think I was like 15. And one of my friends from school, she told me, like, you know what, let's go. At that time, I knew how to drive. So she knew I knew how right? But so the place was far, right? So she told me, you know what, I want to get a job. Why don't you get a job for the summer with me, you know? And I said, sure. And then I got my mom's car. We went. It was at the beach, bro. It was crazy. You know, Newport Beach in Bloomingdale. So we went out, you know, we got lost and everything, but we got the job. I was there probably for like 2 years, something like that. It was cool.
All right.
Yeah, but it was
So those,
like only like a vacation work, you know? Like whenever I had time, I could go over there and help them out. So
all right.
yeah.
And of course, the surroundings were pretty cool, you know, being on the beach.
Yeah.
That's fresh.
You know, all I had to do really was like unload the cars and you know sometimes talk to people, but mostly I was in the warehouse, so it was cool.
Piece of cake, right?
I mean, for 15, I mean, I had the full sweaters, you know, and I got paid, and I was on the weekends, and you know, it was pretty interesting. Yeah. But before that, like unofficially, I was working at a lumber yard with my father. So
Mhm.
I started like about 13, and then with my friend, we used to wash cars for $5. So we would split 250. We washed 2 to 3 cars a day sometimes, like on the weekends, and we had $10 not to spend. So we were like 10, 12, something like that. So that was like
And
my
having
first chambita, right?
your first little chambit. That's cool. Now, since at that stage of your lives you entered the working life, tell me this. I know it's a big question, but do you guys have like a dream job, or have you ever had a dream job, Maripaz?
Oh, I think
Don't
I'm
make
a
me cry.
like
I don't know how to feel about hard beating or not. I don't want to answer that question anymore.
Tony doesn't want to answer.
Oh,
We're going to pass. We're going to pass on that. No, the problem with me is I feel I've had 1,000 dream jobs. You know, if someone paid me
Okay.
to write full time, I would do it, but I also like to do it on my own. So I want to write a novel. That is like my new thing. I have to write it. Well, I have to sit down every day like Hemingway and get it
Yeah.
done. But for a while, I wanted to be a fireman, and then I wanted to be a
Wow.
lumberjack, and I wanted to be a guard in a park, and
So, Maripaz, have you gotten any closer to fulfilling that particular goal, that particular dream job?
um, I think it's my ADHD that gets in the way all
I
the
love it.
time because I was in so many workshops back in the day, and then I started doing other stuff like the creative stuff that I do now, the lino printing and the cardboard art. And then I remembered, well, my first love was writing. So what am I doing?
Wow.
Right? And that's okay. I love language as well, and I love feeling like you do something for people. So I really like having like my day job. That
All
makes
right.
me focus.
I agree.
What about you, Tony? Come on, you gotta give me something, bro. Come on.
Football player, bro. I don't want to be a football player.
You wanted to be a football player.
Oh,
All right.
I was, I was a football player, but I never really made it to like big leagues, like the NFL or anything like that. So that was my dream, when I was younger.
What position were you in?
Tackle, right, left, defense, tail, yeah,
Órale.
and offense.
You're
So that was cool.
you were in the action real close, bro.
Oh yeah, bro, I loved it. I just bang on people, bam, 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 bam. You know, I didn't like stop. I didn't stop until I couldn't go to university anymore. So I came to Mexico and I channeled my energy in other things. Bro.
And other things naturally, right? Because it takes a lot, bro. It takes a lot.
I studied interpersonal communications in the university. So, I started like knowing myself more and having more control on myself, because that's why I used to play football, because I'd like to explode. And it was something that, it didn't take much to ignite that fire. So, yeah, thank God I took a bunch of psychology classes and shit, because or else I think I would still be in that, war zone in my mind.
Speaking of that, let's talk about something very important in when we work. The environment, our surroundings. Like sometimes going to work, it represents a drag for a lot of people, not because of the work itself, but because of the people they have to, see. They need to talk to that, some of them, are likable.
Yeah.
But sometimes we are in an environment where we don't like the people or they have something against us. I mean, it creates a very an atmosphere of a lot of tension. Have you ever, in your jobs throughout your life, been in an environment like that, in a very tense environment when it comes to going to work? Maripaz.
Of course I was. Yeah, it was fun,
Damn.
because another job this was a very weird job. We were working at a gift shop of a museum in Monterrey, and at first I was only part of the staff, right? I was only like here, helping customers, stuff like that. But then our boss was very she was a pain to be
Oh,
around, honestly. And the supervisor quit. She just quit. She said, "This is not for me. You know what? I have better things to do."
okay.
And she approached me and said, "Hey, do you want to be the supervisor?" And I was like, "Why not?" Right? It sounded like a great position, and I was like 20. So I was 20. I said, "Yeah, obviously." And so I had to work longer hours. But to start with, that was very stressful, right? Because everyone was on their toes all the time, trying not to make them mad. And I had like a very good cashier, and I had a terrible cashier. Like she was like, these 100 pesos, I don't know where they came from. No, yeah. We were closing, and I was like, I want to go home. And it was messy in general. And I think they were great people, and they were my friends for a while. I came back and visited them when I went back to Monterrey during the summer or that type of thing. But I think you have to make the best out of everything, and I always stay positive, and it worked well in the end. We made it work, and we were really nice. That we didn't have an issue that, oh, you were super rude to a customer, or you. No, I think we were good.
Let's go with your personal situation. First of all, Maripaz, as I understand, for some months you were taking semi-sabbatical, but now you're back on track. You have a new part-time occupation. Um, can you tell me how do you feel right now with your current routine or situation compared to the previous one?
Oh, honestly, I feel amazing. I feel great because in my previous job I was working only 8 hours, but I was back to back receiving calls as an interpreter. That was what I was doing before. And sometimes the topics were very heavy, or the terminology was very hard, like very, very difficult, no? So I just was very stressed out. I was burned out. Like I went to sleep. I couldn't think properly, but I was also like in denial that I was burned out for a while. And when I accepted it, I said, well, no, I have to quit this job. This job is killing me. It's messing with my health. It's messing with my relationships. I'm not even texting people back. I feel
Damn.
that's wrong. No, I can't live this way. And I decided to quit. But I really liked interpreting, and I thought that I was good at it. So why not try again? And I finally found a part-time position as a medical interpreter, and now I feel great because you always get these difficult cases, people that go to therapy and have this really, really hard life story, like they are God's favorite warrior or something. Like, I mean, that's not cool.
Oh,
Or people who have cancer and they get it again and they get it again, and you're like,
uh,
what is going on? And
yeah.
some of them are very optimistic and they will try every treatment and they are there just with you, and they expect you to be there,
Sure.
show up, to give them 100% of attention. And I feel also with a part-time job, I can do it. No, I can assure that I'm there for them. Being totally empathetic and understanding everything. No, I really like it. Now it's better. Yeah.
And that allows you to also have an occupation as a freelancer. Let's call it like that. What is it about? What is it about exactly?
Okay. I also do translation. But I can do it in my own time and decide what I want to do. Like, it's very free. You don't have to do any hours if you can't. And then I can also like do my lino prints and print my t-shirts. And I have a lot of free time, so I'm very happy with it. I'm even making some hummus and some things to sell or exchange now. Like I'm cooking some things. So I'm working on new things, and I remain creative. So that's what I like about having the part-time and the other freelance job.
Well, flavor.
Alrighty. Tony is a little bit of a, well, that's to say it modestly. Let's say it. He's also, in a way, a freelancer, since he, apart from his current occupation, which is also an English teacher, like moi, he has also developed some side businesses. Can you tell me what they're about, please, Tony?
Yeah. Right now, my favorite one is the English coaching, bro. That has really helped me to become like a better person, I guess you could say, because it helps me to with the knowledge that I've attained from psychology courses and things like that. I've been able to kind of switch a person's mindset. So
Okay.
that's been incredible. Helping people like really change the way that they think in order to obtain their goals has been great. Last year I was able to help 3 people to get like their dream job. One girl, she was 45 and she started working on a U.S. Airlines. It was something that before that she was working at. Imagine she was working at a insurance agent, so completely different from what she actually wanted to do, from what she started to do with that. And she just got promoted 3 months ago to a better position in that organization. Another one of my friends, she was able to be in the United Nations, so she's been traveling all she's been there for 8 months now, And she hadn't had a job for about 8 months, maybe a year, because not like my boss told me that she was, having so much stress and having so much, toxicity from going to work every day and having to deal with people and people that she didn't really like. And she started getting how do you call this, hernia, discal hernia. So I started giving her massages. I studied reflexology. With my products, I was able to help her in my CBD products to, lower the tension and relax the muscles and the neural fibers and things like that. I give her a massage a couple of times. I still do, to help her relieve that tension. And she's been traveling, bro. So it's pretty incredible.
It is.
Person, yeah. And another lady, she got a job. The position that she had always looked for, CFO at international brokerage. So she's got a lot of responsibility.
All right.
Just recently, she's contacted me. Like, oh, I'm getting a new job, and I need you to help me with the interview, this and that. So it was all like, okay, when you walk in the office, you're gonna look at the person, you can say hi. You're gonna sit on the side, and you're gonna smile, and then they'll start asking you questions. He said, "Oh my God, Tony, exactly what you said. Exactly what happened." I'm like, telling you, that's So then so one of the days it was like on a Sunday, bro. She's like, "Please help me," and I was like, "What do you mean? Please help me? It's Saturday night." Like, I have an interview on Monday morning. Like, what do you mean? Why are you contacting me right now? So like, I got things to do on Sunday. So I have like,
Of course.
take care of. So the first class or the first coaching session was on Sunday at 10. Bro. And I was like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. And then boom, second filter, bro. And then it was like on a Wednesday at 6 a.m. because I didn't have another time slot, And even though I told her, oh, you know what, you're gonna pay me so much, consider that she was gonna say no, right? So I elevated the price. I was like, I'm gonna soup it up. Sunday at 10 at night, who works at that time, I'll triple the price, right? So it's like, okay,
Naturally.
and she did it, bro. I'm like, what? I was like, okay, the next time it's gonna be almost the same, 6 a.m. Who wakes up at 6 a.m?
On a Sunday.
On a Wednesday, that the next school was on a Wednesday, and she paid me the same thing, bro, and she passed to the next filter, bro. I was like, oh my God, let's go. So then the next time it was like the same, like Monday in the morning at 6 in the morning, and she got the job, bro. It was exciting, dog. It was exciting. So,
Glad to hear that it was a successful move, bro. Glad to hear that.
So those three stories happened last year. So like that, every year I've had like different situations where I'm coaching. Right now I'm working with two people. They're the headhunters there, but they're not ready. They can't speak English. They have a
Sure.
idea, but they can't, flow with their ideas. So that's been great, bro. That's been great. The coaching in English has been great.
Good to hear that, my friend. Maripaz. Now, you had to go through some interesting procedure in order to enter this new phase of yours as a part-time interpreter. But how was your experience when looking for a new job nowadays, considering everything that has to be done?
I feel it. This process, like this interview process, has completely changed through the years, and I hate it. It is not personal at all, and you get like 5 interviews with different people, and then they ask you for your resume, but then they ask you for your for your social security, and then they ask you for your birth certificate, and you have all these papers, like this stack of papers, and To me, it's bothersome and it makes no sense if you ask me, because you don't really get to know the person, and you are just trying to like make them. I don't know if you're trying them, like putting them under stress or asking them for a lot of requirements or something. So I feel it's unnecessary. That's my point of view, but I am not a manager or anything, or I'm not HR, right?
HR, human resources.
So it was hard, and the job that I did the most for, I didn't even stay. I said, you know what, you're insane. You're insane, and I'm not doing it.
Oh,
I said, do you want me to remember? They wanted to remember something like the last 10 years where I had lived in the last 10 years. And I said, you know what? I don't. I move a lot.
yeah, like what's that got to do with it?
I don't get it. And I'm a trustworthy person. And if you don't want to see it, I have this other option and I will stay on it. So that is why I like to apply to many different jobs, because you also have to have many options. No, the candidate has to have many options because the employer has many options to choose from. You also have to decide what is best for you, for your lifestyle, for your health. You have to also make a choice and be as informed as you can.
Alrighty. Guys, thank you very much for everything that you have shared from your personal experiences and your point of view on certain matters. But now it's time to wrap things up. But before that, let's do the quick and now classical or traditional rapid fire session. So, number 1, morning shift or afternoon shift to work? Maripaz.
Oh, morning shift.
Tony.
Morning.
All right. Establish. Yeah, okay. Established schedule or working free schedule, your own hours. Maripaz.
Oh, maybe an established schedule because I procrastinate a lot.
I hear you. I hear you. Your own hours, Tony. All right. Home office or going to the office? Maripaz?
Oh my God, no, home office. I would cycle there, but no, 100%.
Tony?
Home office, bro.
All right.
No doubt.
Looking for a side job or starting your own business? Maripaz?
Are you sure there are no wrong answers? Both? Oh no.
It's free. It's a free country. It's a free will.
Both sound free.
Yeah, both.
Both? You'll go both. Both of you. Both of you are going both ways. All right. That's a new one. That's all right. He got it. 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 Oh man. Oh man, I needed that laugh. Guys, thank you so much for your participation during this show. You're always welcome back in the Let's Talk show. And of course, it was great to see you. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Take care.
And I wish all of you success in your future and current endeavors. Maripaz was with us. Tony was with us. Eric Rios was in the controls. Poncho was in charge of the edition. I am Mike, and this has been it for today. Goodbye and good night. Bye.